Darren here, and on today's episode of Watch the Academy, we are joined with Pontiac Pat in the 36th installment of the Map Awareness series. Now, why am I showing another Map Awareness video back to back? Well, I've been out of the sling for a little bit. I'm starting to try and put videos together again, so I figured this would be a nice little easy clip to edit together to try and make sure that I can still, edit videos. It's a little bit harder than you think, honestly. Anyway, so there was a replay while I was trying to put this. It was sent to me a while back, and I noticed it late, and I apologize, and I meant to use it. Unfortunately, for some reason, my system does not want to use it because I had to jump through hoops, and the entire video crashed, and I cannot record it. Well, no matter how many times I record it, it does not want to work. So, Matt Sandby, I apologize. I had every intention of using your video, but unfortunately, my computer apparently hates your recording that I did of your video and refuses to use it. Anyway, we are here with Pontiac Pat in the Super Chaffee, or basically the Naked Rover, whichever name you would prefer to use. He's on Sand River, and I did not pay attention to if you pulled up the roster, but it appears that he may be either mid-tier or bottom-tier. I cannot tell off the top of my head at this moment, but he's a light tank. He might as well be considered bottom-tier. But, he goes to the usual spotting location of a light tank, and he gets some good spots, some good shots. He has some support, thankfully, and it's looking like he's mid-tier. Anyway, then we just see a T-34-88 just roll up. He's like, da-da-da-da, and he just immediately gets obliterated. That there is evidence of why you don't just push ahead unsupported, especially if you are mid-tier or bottom-tier. Don't do it. So yes. Anyway, right now we are seeing some very good RBRT. I cannot say that that's a good thing to do. Do not take that as an example. But he's doing his job as a light tank here. He is rolling up. He is trying to spot his opponents. There's not a whole lot that he can really do. I'm sure some expert light tankers out there can definitely be like, oh yeah, he can do plenty of things. He can be a pseudo-medium, and that's definitely the case. But, in some instances, just being that supporting light tank, especially if you do happen to have some good, gun stats, it doesn't hurt to just kind of sit at the back and plink away and support. We do see that he is running a full premium loadout. I don't know exactly how necessary that is in the Super Chaffee. I don't run a full premium in my Rover, and I don't know if the stats are even different between these two vehicles. But he is doing his job as a light tank, being aware of where light tanks are making their move, keeping his eye on the mini-map, and moving to intercept and destroy enemy light tanks. And you can see he just did that with the opposing light tank right there, and he's now moving to spot on this flank. He's going to be a little bit hesitant right now because, again, he's trying to actually flex around a little bit. He's trying to be wherever he is needed and support whatever flank. He also, by the looks of it, rolled back and in order to actually shoot from a safe position without being spotted. And he is also spotting these tanks, so that works for him. Unfortunately, he does get detected, but smartly enough, he is paying attention and is quick to get out of the gun sight and get to safety here. He is still being lit, so there might be something hidden that he isn't aware of yet, but he is being aware of what's going on in the middle. He is watching. He is trying to spot for his teammates sitting here at the back, and by the looks of it right now, it's not going good. He is losing. Not a whole lot I can really talk about at the moment. He's just trying to break line of sight, and he is trying to avoid getting shot right now. See some blind shots going on. Wouldn't say that I would do the same thing in their shoes, but knowing that there are still tanks that do need to be spotted, he is rolling up, and he has his eye on that one tank there. Another good RBRT shot. Again, not every vehicle has the ability to do that, so don't rely on it. Never, never, never completely rely on RBRT. So, seeing that there is a tiger just alone, he is RBRT. This is when RBRT would be okay. It's when you got to pay attention to what you're shooting at, where you're going, and, you know, if you're circling an opponent, watching where you're shooting isn't really a big deal. Quickly circles and destroys the tiger that was caught out alone, unsupported. You could argue that his teammates they were supporting, but they clearly were not doing much to actually stop Pontiac Pat. He's now moved to, I don't know exactly how strong this position is. I don't normally go to this position, because if I want to go to a position like this, I would want to have the gun depression to actually do damage and be in a position of strength. And the few times I've actually been up there, I have never been able to actually be in that position of strength to where I could safely shoot. Another vehicle has decided to come and deal with Pontiac Pat, but again, all we got to do here is just outrun the gun. The KV-85 is just, I don't even know what went on there. It did not go well for him. It certainly didn't really go well for Pontiac Pat either. He pretty much lost half his health from that, climbing that hill. But again, he is doing a very good job of being quick to react. He is, while he may have stayed on the southern half of this map right now, he is doing a pretty good job of moving, relocating, keeping an eye on vehicles that he may or may not have a shot on, and doing his utmost to try and support his teammates in any way possible, especially when they're, you know, down at least one tank. Sitting here, RBing our team again. I can't really, you know, at this point, I can't really refute the fact that the accuracy on this vehicle is pretty good, just in a simple RBRT. But I do have to stress for anyone just watching this that may not be entirely intermediate or well-versed in the game, RBRT is not a mechanic that you should completely rely on, and that's all I can really stress every time I see it, unfortunately. It's kind of like my dentist. I mean, I could, you know, instead of just shaming me about the, you know, the level of cavities I've had, you know, back when I was a teenager, it's just quietly I'll fix them every time I see them, and I'm not even going to bother, you know, shaming you about it because you won't listen to me. So, I mean, yeah, you know, I can tell you how many times it's not a good idea, but, you know, it's really up to you to take that advice to heart. But that's beside the point on this. Again, he's doing a very good job of moving, flexing. The one thing that I will notice is that he has not actually done a whole lot of being the scout for his team. He's more of played this as a supporting pseudo-light medium. Basically, not exactly pushing the limits, risking his neck to try and get spots or spot assists. He's more of just supporting from the flanks and the rear of the line in order to keep an eye on where he needs to move in order to properly support his teammates, which isn't really a bad thing, but, you know, to some people it might tick them off, but, you know, you do you, basically. So, not really sure how to handle that, but he is doing a very good job of handling the TD, of getting right to the side. I wouldn't have attempted just hugging him, as we see here. That did not work out for him well at all. But we're down to one tank right now. His team has managed to turn this around, and it seems to be the Minuteman. Really, trying to shoot this from the distance is not really a good thing, but thankfully a teammate manages to take it out. But that does it for today's video. I'd like to thank Pontiac Pat for submitting this video. I'd also like to apologize to Matt Samby for not being able to use his replay. But if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe. But until next time, this has been Darren of WotC Academy. And that concludes today's video. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe. But until next time, this has been Darren of WotC Academy.